Aditya, my question is, why now? And what do you expect to happen?
Well, Karthikeya, if not now, then when? Because it's been 35 long years. This should have happened more than 3 decades ago. Ideally, when a crime is committed, immediately the police should file FIR, there should be an investigation, and within a span perhaps of a year or so, there should be conviction. But what we see in the cases of Kashmiri Pandit genocide, in the cases of the ethnic cleansing, in the cases of targeted assassination of prominent Kashmiri Hindus in the Kashmir Valley from 1989 till today, there hasn't been justice, there hasn't been conviction, there hasn't been any arrest that has been made. I mean, imagine, I often say that forget Kashmiri Pandits. Now, there is a man called Yasin Malik, who is a top terrorist of the Jammu and Kashmir Liberation Front. There is a case of 4 Indian Air Force men that he has killed. There is a case of Rubia Saeed kidnapping. Rubia Saeed was the daughter of the former Home Minister of India, Mufti Mohammad Saeed. And he went to the BBC Hard Talk with Tim Sebastian and confessed to the killing, confessed to the kidnapping, and said this was all part of the armed struggle. Now, when there is a confession out in open on a video, then why aren't the Indian courts, why aren't the Indian investigative agencies, why isn't the Indian government be able to arrest him and convict him, put him to trial and send him to the gallows? The question, Karthikeya, is that not a single political party in India, be it from the Congress to the left to the BJP, has ever been interested in conviction or putting a commission in place to find out how did the exodus take place, how did the ethnic cleansing take place, who were the people responsible for it. Forget Farooq Abdullah, forget Omar Abdullah, who was, Abdullahs were the chief ministers at that time, and they did zilch, they did nothing at all. They in fact resigned when they thought that, they can't do anything, and they escaped from responsibility. But today, when Article 370 nullification took place, finally Kashmiri Hindus had a glimmer of hope that there will be a commission that will be set up. And that too was denied completely by the Supreme Court of India. I mean, shame on the Supreme Court of India, where there is already trial going on in the Godhra cases. There is trial underway in the massacres that has been faced by the Sikh community of India during the 1984 riots. But not a single case has been put to final conviction in the gruesome killing of Kashmiri Hindus, be it Sarla Bhat, be it Girja Tikku, be it Sarvanand Kol Premi, be it Justice Nilkant Ganju, Lasakol, Tikalal Taplu, the list is endless. So I thank the government of India, I thank the Manoj Sinha government also, who had the courage to at least begin from a couple of cases. Finally, I would advise the government of India that people see this as a symbolic step. You don't have to just make a symbolic step. You have to finally make a time-bound investigation and trial and put this to conviction. At least begin with the cases of Yasin Malik and Bitta Karate and all these JKLF terrorists, and finally put this to end within the next couple of years. At least that is what is expected from the government of India.
Absolutely. Atpi Singh, why is the issue of Kashmiri Pandit genocide is so politically unattended, if I may use the word?
You rightly said it has been politically unattended, although my friend will accept this. They call that I am the one who has pursued this case with my government also.
So that is why you are here in the conversation. People know that you have been attached with this entire issue since beginning.
No, because my gurus has persuaded me to do so. But coming to the issue, I was going through the date. It was 9 February 2021. I have written an official letter to Home Minister saying that let there be inquiry commission being made, and let there be inquiry on how the exodus happened or what happened on ground, and how religious militancy turned into a jihad, Islamist jihad, and then how did the complete events happened after 1989, and especially, I'm not saying so, but generally it's believed that the first person who was killed was the BJP Vice President Tikalal Tapluji on 14 September 1989. But even then, Aditya rightly said that court didn't show as much concern as it has shown in many other such cases, whether it was, I'm accepting 84, even today High Court has ordered for a fresh trial in 1984. Cases also, I'm personally appearing in those cases now in Supreme Court also. I'm one of the petitioner in the court, intervener in the another case. So only thing is that someone need to again go to the court and appeal to the court that this is not the way the court judiciary should look into the matter. This is a serious concern, and then this will not only healing process is one part. I mean, but this will also take care of the future problems which are going to be there vis-a-vis the Kashmir, or which we have faced even after 1919 till 2025, and what can be there in future also. That will also try to uh, uh, take care of them also. So I'm with the Aditya Rajkol and other Kashmiri Pandits friends that yes, inquiry commission should happen, and somehow if there's some legal process where government can take initiative in spite of the fact the court has given an order not inquiring the matter. So let it be. I mean, I will appreciate that should happen, and I'm on record saying that yes, I expect this from my government.
Okay. You expect this from your government. Mr. Ambadar, you know, this is not about one case. There are multiple cases. Don't you think that there should be a larger survey and study done of the people displaced, people who were killed by the terrorists, accounted for, the impact it had made on their families? I mean, so a sort of a larger study or sort of a larger inquiry, a larger commission should be there?
First of all, whatever has happened today, I must comment on it, is welcome, but it's too little and too late. It's not going to deliver justice if the system is going to pick up the cases from one here and another there. What happened to Justice Ganju's case? What happened to Satish Tikku's case? What happened to, how can you ignore that their inquiry was started off with, again, news and propaganda and all, and what happened to those inquiries? The issue is, Government of India has to acknowledge formally what Kashmiri Hindus suffered was genocide. Unless you do that, you will not be able to pursue the genocide cases. Because India is a signatory to International Convention on Genocide, so India will have to put up a tribunal and follow the rules of international rules for tribunal on genocide. Number one. Number two, you only have to investigate the potential or possible terrorist jihadists who did perpetrate this genocide. You also need to investigate the politicians and the people who were in power in those days in Srinagar and as well as in Delhi. Srinagar, Farooq Abdullah, on the dreaded night that covered, I call him, elected chief minister, he abandoned his responsibilities, abandoned Kashmiri Hindus to AK-47 wielding jihadists who were looking for them, from searching them in the streets of Srinagar and rest of the towns and villages of Kashmir. And then and himself, he fled to London. And then that time we had India's first Muslim Home Minister, Mufti Muhammad Sayyid. He released dreaded terrorists to seek release of his own kidnapped daughter. But he was politically paralyzed, did nothing, while Kashmiri Hindu genocide was happening simultaneously in Kashmir. Nothing was done. So I think he should be probed posthumously. Farooq should be investigated. What was their role in the genocide of Kashmiri Hindus? And then you don't, Sarla Bhat. It's not just an ordinary crime. It's not just a rape and murder. Her body was branded with JK alphabets with cigarette bits. Naked body thrown on in the street of Kashmir. And I also want to bring it to your notice. Not many talk about the horrendous. In fact, it is very unfortunate. The survivors are supposed to count the dead. It's left to us to tell the government of India, no, it's not 209, which they have been parroting for the last 35 years. It's an official account, 209 people were killed. Our people have done the investigations on their own. It's more than 2,000 people. And one case I want to bring to your notice. Kralakhod is the center, heart of Srinagar. Their mother and daughter, Hindu duo, were raped and shot in the vagina. I repeat, they were raped together.
Mr. Ambadar, Mr. Ambadar, I mean, say, I understand the horror which the Pandits went through, but I don't think in a public broadcast this sort of a detailing is required, sir. I differ on this.
No, why not?
I differ on this.
Why not? Then how do
no, no, I
how would you
respect your
generate
point
the
of view.
sympathy? How do you generate the support for our cause?
The support,
Hindu
the
lives must
support
matter,
is
sir, in this
generated,
country.
Mr.
Hindu lives
Ambadar.
must matter in this country.
Mr. Ambadar,
If
we are
only,
saying,
if
Mr.
only
Ambadar,
the, if
the
only
debate
the
is not
Sikh
between,
massacre
Mr.
was
Ambadar, the debate is
properly
not between, Mr.
investigated,
Ambadar, the
but
debate
you-
is not between you and me. You don't need to convince me. Your opening comments, sir.
Thank you so much, Kartikeya, for inviting me to your show. It is indeed a welcome step. I wholeheartedly feel that my Kashmiris were heard. It is not about Kashmiri Pandits or Kashmiri Muslims. It is about my sister. It is about the daughter of Kashmir. And a daughter does not belong to a family, a community, a particular religion, but to a nation. Sarla Bhat is the daughter of Kashmir, and her murderers, killers should be sent to gallows. This is what a Kashmiri is feeling. It's not only Kashmiri Hindus. Every Kashmiri who believe in the idea of Kashmiriyat. I, as a Kashmiri Muslim, have always advocated for the dignified, honorable return of Kashmiri Pandits. But yes, my friends, they are absolutely right. This is the first time that a terror victim from Kashmiri Pandit family been heard. And we believe that justice will be given not only to Sarla Bhat, but to every Kashmiri Pandit family. There are hundreds and thousands of Kashmiri Pandit families living most difficult life in Jagti camps or in other parts of our country or outside of our country. I have seen that. I have been living with Kashmiri Pandits since my childhood. Very unfortunate incidents of 1990s. But my generation, like Aditya and me, most of the Kashmiri Muslim who belong to my generation, we were fed by lies. We have always been fed by lies by my father's generation. That 1990s forced exodus of Kashmiri Pandits was designed by purpose by the then governor of Kashmir. This is the most unfortunate part. And my father's generation still keep feeding these lies to the generation younger to me, and I hope they won't feed these lies to the generations to come. I think Kashmiri Pandits, those who believe in the idea of Kashmiriyat, and Kashmiri Muslims, those who believe in the idea of Kashmiriyat, should get together and fight for the overall justice of Kashmiri Pandit community. Yes, Sarla Bhat, she will get justice. And the terrorists who killed her, and they did not attack the dignity of Sarla Bhat, but they attacked the dignity and honor of every Kashmiri.
Javed, do you think that the politicians in charge who were there at that point of time failed Kashmiri Pandits? Because they were chief minister of the state. They were not chief minister of a community. Did they fail Kashmiri Pandits, the political brass at that point of time?
Kartikeya, they are even failing now. They failed everybody. It's their fault, but it is the fault of Kashmiri Muslim society, who maintained silence when my sister was, when her dignity was taken away. It is not only our politicians, it is the Kashmiri Muslim society. I would have raised question against Kashmiri Pandit society also, because they were not there. They were forced to leave their homes, their properties, because they wanted to save their honor. I live in a village called Berawa. We had a very small village there, Sangrampura. In 1999, nobody had left Kashmir from my Kashmiri Pandit community from Berawa. A great teacher, most honorable man, he along with his family, they were killed by terrorists in 1999, and it was the 21st March when we celebrate Navroz and Navreh together. Nobody from my locality even raised this till now. I was the first from my locality who arranged their homecoming after 26-7 years when I brought their family members to that place, and commemorated the martyrdom of those 8 Kashmiri Pandits killed. You know, I'm very unhappy with my society, especially Kashmiri Muslim society. They have never raised this question, and they have always been feeding lies to their children that Kashmiri Pandits left Kashmir on their own, and that choice was given by the then governor of Jammu and Kashmir, Jagmohan, which is a lie. Kashmiri Pandits, they were forced to leave their homes. I am the witness that my Kashmiri Pandits living in my constituency, Birwa, they were forced to leave their home. They are even now ready to come back, but we are not safe. Still we are not safe. One Kashmiri Pandit, Rahul Bhat, was killed in Badgam in 2023. He belonged to my village Sangrampura, and nobody could save him. I don't believe in Kashmiri politicians. They have failed our society. They have failed our legacy. They have failed our civilization. The legacy of Acharya Abhinav Gupta, the legacy of Laldad Mata Laleshwari, legacy of Nundresh. I think, Kashmiri Samaj, both Kashmiri Hindus and Kashmiri Muslims, we should get together, sit together and fight terrorism and religious radicalism together.
You know, you have raised a very important point. And I think, you know, I was having a discussion with Aditya Raj Kaul on this. I tell him that, you know, there is something called politics of silence, a lack of acknowledgement in the mainstream that there was suffering on part of the Kashmiri Pandits. And there is neither acknowledgement, there is neither recording of their memory, neither classification of what every family went through. And so if you don't have all this, where is the closure? You will never have a closure. So what engenders this politics of silence, Aditya?
You know, Karthikeya, what the politicians of India need to understand, you know, there's a lot of politics being played on rehabilitation of Kashmiri Pandits. And the only thing that I hear in media all across is that either BJP or Congress or other political parties say that, you know, one day Kashmiri Pandits should return to Kashmir, there should be rehabilitation, they should go to the same places where they resided. But how can a rehabilitation or a return happen until justice is delivered? I mean, if there is a carnage, if there is a massacre, if there is a brutal killing that has happened, not just of one, but dozens and hundreds of Kashmiri Hindus, how will they feel safe again in the Kashmir Valley? I mean, has a single politician from the Farooq Abdullahs to the Mufti Muhammads to the Mehbooba Mufti or their present generation protested or shut Lal Chowk for the return of Kashmiri Hindus? Have they shut Lal Chowk or schools and colleges and universities demanding that Yasin Malik and Bitta Karate and all separatists should be sent to the gallows? Never. This is the hypocrisy, this is the double standards.
Aditya, tell me, how did a person like Yasin Malik almost got mainstream?
Well, he did.
Almost.
You know, it is not just the